Welcome to another episode of SG Crypto. It has been a little while. It's been about 2 weeks since I've actually made a video. I've been making YouTube shorts in between that time, but just been busy. Been moving, started a new job, just doing a lot of different new things, so time's been a little bit occupied, but I'm excited to be making this video, and this is actually an exciting announcement by Flare. Quite honestly, this is something I've been curious about, not with just Flare, but with all these different metaverses. I've been thinking like there should be one connection between them all, so that there's not just going to be one blockchain or not just one metaverse that makes it out. Because with a bridge that makes them interoperable, that would make them all last, and it wouldn't just be left to the one. And that's kind of what this is about. So with that being said, let's get into it. So Flare said, this is actually just today, curated metaverse platform Metropolisworld, which is one I've never heard of, engages Flare as a key interoperability partner powering seamless movement between different metaverses and blockchains. So Metropolisworld, a soon-to-launch curated metaverse platform, announces a partnership with Flare, a new blockchain which enables secure, decentralized interoperability between chains and metaverses. So as we know, Flare's motto is connect everything, or connecting everything. So they're bringing non-smart contract tokens, and they're giving them the ability to be smart contract tokens, giving them the ability, if they weren't able to stake and to earn passive income from their tokens, because they are quote unquote non-smart contract tokens, they could then be brought onto Flare as an F asset and then become a smart contract token, but only on Flare. Flare is what gives them more value, and it gives people the ability to not just be holding their tokens, but start to earn some passive income off it. This is something we've covered in the past in depth. Flare's blockchain technology will allow for the seamless movement by users between different metaverse ecosystems and blockchains, such as Decentraland and Sandbox, which is a key aspect of Metropolis's vision for the metaverse. So you'll be able to move your digital items in and out of this. And what it's sounding like, and we'll get into this in a moment, is that as a Metropolis user, you will be able to move in and out of other metaverses. So if you're in Sandbox, I don't think you'll be able to move your items from Sandbox to Decentraland. I think it's only Sandbox to Metropolis or Decentraland to Metropolis. So Metropolis is kind of what is seeming like, as far as how they've worded this, seems like it's kind of like the center, and items can only be moved to and from Metropolis and not to each other, such as Decentraland to Sandbox, Sandbox to Decentraland. So the Flare partnership means that Metropolisworld becomes a one-stop destination, as it now has a bridge into other metaverses. That's Flare Bridge, the connecting everything. Metropolis users will be able to move into other worlds easily without borders. Metropolisworld differentiates itself from other metaverse platforms due to its design aesthetic. Its cities are created digitally by hand, and every property is a unique standalone piece of art. Unlike the majority of NFT collections, Metropolis is not utilizing generative art to create the actual cities. A lot of people kind of get upset about that, the aspect of NFTs and this whole space, that it is generative, it is kind of coded, and it doesn't have that aspect of like authenticity, whereas this does have that, because everything is digitally created, or it's created digitally by hand. So the real world ecosystem is already developed, and as it has formed partnerships with a wide range of high profile ambassadors from worlds of music, art, gaming, NFT, crypto, and business. Okay, and these are known as their founding citizens. They got some decently big names. They got 3Law, who's an artist, Board Elon, Chad Knight, Dylan Francis, Diplo, Velfrey, Fuckrender, Meltem Demryers, Outlier Ventures, I've heard of them, and then Steve Aoki. Of course, pretty much everybody knows that name. So Metropolis's first metaverse city, called Celeste, is launching in the fall, and over the next 12 months it will drop its avatars and the e-commerce platform. within 18 months, it expects to launch 6 cities, with each property sold as an individual NFT. Metropolis in itself is something I'm going to cover in the coming days, probably next week, just to give us, because me personally, I don't know anything about Metropolis World, so that is something I will be making a video on. Okay, and then Hugo Fillion, obviously the CEO and co-founder of Flare, said interoperability is a critical challenge, not just for blockchains, but also for metaverses. We share Metropolis's vision for a seamlessly interconnected metaverse universe. As their key interoperability partner, we will be implementing decentralized and insured layer cake bridges to ensure safe transit for all user assets. So that's what we were talking about earlier, the ability to move your digital assets from one metaverse to another. Rashid Ajami, co-founder of Metropolis World, said the backing of Flare enables us to offer users the seamless movement between different metaverse ecosystems. This really sets us apart and reflects our big picture vision of how the metaverse is going to evolve. So it's interesting because this is something I have talked about kind of just in my private circle, just about with all these different metaverses, there has to be a connection between them all. While this isn't really a connection between them all, this is really it's a connection between them all, but only to a specific place. It's kind of, I'll say centralized, but not in the aspect of like, I mean it is centralized, but it's all centralized towards Metropolis, to where every other metaverse can be brought only to Metropolis and not to each other. That's the only issue I really see with this, but props to Metropolis for getting this, and I'm excited to see how it works and if it's operable. I mean, it must be if they're announcing this to the public. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I'm excited to do a deep dive on it and share that with you on what Metropolis is, their vision, etc. Just see how it's going to operate, you know, as opposed to some of the more popular metaverses like Decentraland or Sandbox. So that's going to be it for this video here. I hope you guys have been doing well, and I will catch you in the next one.